Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out these videos. As stated in the last newsletter, we're going to be hitting you guys up with a few exclusive videos specifically for the people who receive the online newsletter. These videos are going to be breaking down a good active warm-up that you can do before a track meet or before a game if you play any other sports. Now the reason why I'm dividing it into 3 videos is simple. There are 3 basic parts to the warm-ups that I like to have my athletes do. The first, getting your joints mobile. That is a huge part of warming up, getting your joints more mobile. The second is getting your muscles activated, physically moving the muscles, physically using the muscles the same way that you would when you get in the circle or when you get on the court or on the field, whatever sport you play. And thirdly, we want to talk about getting those muscles more flexible. Once you've got a little bit of a sweat going, once you've got a pretty good warm-up going, then we have to talk about actively stretching those muscles so that you are ready to go and that you are ready to perform at the highest level. The reason for a warm-up is simple. The same way you wouldn't just show up to a gym, slap 200 plus pounds on a bar and start benching or start squatting real heavy. And the same reason you wouldn't just walk onto a track and start sprinting at full speed. You have to make sure that your body is ready for the amount of work that you're going to throw at it, no pun intended. So we want to make sure that when you're getting ready to throw, you are warming up. And as I showed you in the video, a lot of times you just see guys doing some arm swings, kind of doing some of these, picking their legs up, they get in the circle and throw. Well, what I see with a lot of athletes is after they're done throwing and they're just, relaxed and they're fooling around, that's usually when they start to throw far. And it's not because they're relaxed, that has something to do with it, but mostly it's because they're not warmed up properly. Their actual throws during their track meet is like their warm-up. It's not until they're actually done throwing that they're ready to go. And a lot of times that's after the track meet is over. So we want to make sure that you're properly warmed up, that you've done enough warming up where you're ready to go and at your peak when you get in the circle. And we also want to make sure that we don't do too much warming up where you are just physically exhausted when you get in that circle and throw. So what I'm going to do today is all about activation, getting your muscles active. And if you look at the name Primal, we get the name Primal Athlete Training Center because of the 7 primal movement patterns that were defined by Paul Chek way back in the day. These were used by the Eastern Bloc, these were used by the USSR back in the 70s and 80s. Primal movement patterns are the ability to squat, lunge, push, pull, bend at the waist, twist at the waist, and your gait or your walk. If you were to break down any athletic movement, you can see a combination of those different primal movement patterns. So for example, a pitcher throwing a ball, that is a lunge, a twist, and a push. So you need to work on those things, get those warmed up. Now for throwing, we use everything. So what I'm going to do is take you through 5 movements, 5 exercises that I do, the first part of the warm-up, getting the muscles active. The first, basic body weight squat. We want to take these nice and slow, make sure we're getting down to as far as we can. Try to get your butt down to the ground. I like to bang out 12 to 15 of these. Some of my guys, my bigger guys, my guys that might be a little bit more stiff, they like to do 15 to 20, kind of break it up as 2 sets, a set of 10, and then another set of 10. But we want to get down, make sure we're stretching out the hips, pushing the hips back, sitting down, opening those knees, standing back up again. From there we have the lunge. Now, the lunge I like to do is called a speed skater. And for a speed skater, it's actually called a curtsy lunge. You can think of like an old lady doing a curtsy back in the 1800s, 1700s. The speed skater, you're going to step to one side and you're going to get the opposite knee on the side of the heel. So we're just going to step and push. Step and push. And I like to do about 10 on each side, anywhere from 8 to 10 on each side, 15 to 20 total. Again, this isn't meant to give you a workout. This isn't meant to have you sweating buckets or totally out of breath. It's meant to get you warm and to use those muscles. Now we have pushing. Pushing, I like to do push-ups, but I like to do what's called a Spider-Man push-up. These I learned from Jim Smitty Smith from the Diesel Crew. Spider-Man push-up, as you push, We're going to do 5 on each side. So as you push, as you go down and get ready to push, you're going to bring one knee up to the elbow. One knee up to the elbow. I like to do 5 on each side. So what that does is it warms up the hips, chest, and it gets your body twisting, gets your body moving a little bit. The 4th one I like to do has to deal with pulling. Now, in a track meet, it's really hard to do any type of pull simply because you don't have weight, you don't have dumbbells, you don't have kettlebells. A shot put's only 12 pounds, not a lot of pulling going on. But what I do like to do for the pulling is what's called a push-up plus. Push-up plus, we're just going to drop our shoulders and push ourselves back up. This is a great way to warm up your scapula, your traps, really get those shoulder blades flexible and moving, get that upper back warmed up. We're going to get in a push-up position. We're going to just drop our shoulders and pick them back up. So we're not bending the elbows, dropping the shoulders, lifting back up. Drop the shoulders, lifting back up. And finally, so now we've covered squatting, lunging, twisting, pushing, pulling. We have to work on our gait, how we move. So for this, what I'd like to do is skipping and sprinting. Short skips, short sprints. We're talking maybe 20 to 25 meters, accelerating along the way, starting out slowly, accelerating each time, and skipping, doing what sprinters do. A skips and B skips, where you're putting the leg out and bringing the leg in. That is right there going to give your athletes a little bit higher heart rate. It's going to get their blood pumping. It's going to start using all the muscles that they're going to use when they're in the circle or on the javelin runway. So we have to make sure that this first part, this is what's done first. Muscle activation. Before you get the joints mobile, before you stretch out the muscle, we need to get the muscle warm, we need to get the muscle moving, we need to get the muscles active. So that's 5 exercises. That's the first 5 on this video number 1. Now the next video is going to cover getting your joints more mobile, the main joints in your body, shoulders, hips, and a lot of other things. The third one is going to deal with flexibility, getting stretched out. Now a lot of times we will see athletes stretch before they get into the shot circle or the discus circle, but a lot of times they're not stretching correctly. So we're going to show you the proper way to stretch to get your body active and actively stretch out those muscles before a track meet. Make sure you check out video number 2 and video number 3. Take these exercises. There's about 14 exercises in total. Probably only takes about 15 minutes or so before you get in there and throw. Make sure you do these warm-up movements. Make sure you get yourself ready so that you're at your peak when you get in the circle. No one wants to throw a PR after the meet when they're just fooling around. Make sure you guys are ready to go during that meet when it counts. Make sure you check out those videos. We'll see you soon.